A proposed $300 billion private investment fund has been outlined as part of a reported US-Iran framework agreement that is aimed at supporting large-scale economic reconstruction in Iran, while also creating financial incentives to secure a broader political and security settlement between Washington and Tehran. And according to a report cited, the fund expected to be named the Reconstruction and Development Fund and is designed as a privately financed vehicle rather than a government-funded program. It would not involve public money, state grants or traditional reparations, but instead rely entirely on commitments from international private investors. Notably, the idea behind the fund is to link economic recovery with diplomatic progress, encouraging both the sides to move towards a final agreement, and the source indicated that more than half of the $300 billion target has already been pledged, although the commitments remain subject to the final confirmation and depend on the successful conclusion of ongoing negotiations. The framework is still provisional with key structural, legal and administrative details yet to be finalized. The proposal reportedly emerges after months of conflict that escalated in late February, involving military actions by US and Israel forces against Iran. Following the escalation, both the sides entered negotiations that is aimed at ending hostilities, reopening critical trade routes, and addressing broader regional security concerns. And among the issues under discussion is the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital global energy corridor through which a significant share of the world's oil and gas supplies pass. And under the proposed financial structure, the fund would channel investment into a major sectors of Iran's economy, including energy, petrochemicals, logistics, manufacturing, transportation, mining, and infrastructure redevelopment. Specific projects mentioned in the report include the reconstruction of refineries, airports, steel production facilities such as the Mubarak Steel Complex and other industrial and civil infrastructure damaged during the conflict. Well, the initiative is also being framed as a way to unlock Iran's long untapped economic potential given its significant natural resources and large young population. Regional participation is expected to play a major role in the fund's financing model. Countries in the Gulf region, along with private firms from the United States, South Korea, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, South America and Africa are reported to have expressed interest or made preliminary commitments. Contributions may take various forms, including direct investment, credit lines, and project financing. However, no comprehensive list of participating entities has been released, and the governance structure of the fund has not yet been made public. The proposal also reflects a shift from earlier Iranian demands, which reportedly sought around $400 billion in compensation for war-related damages. That request was rejected by Washington, leading negotiators to explore a private sector-driven alternative that could still support reconstruction without direct state-to-state payments. Importantly, the fund is described as separate from parallel negotiations over US sanctions relief and the release of Iranian sovereign assets foreign abroad. Well, all those discussions are proceeding on a different track with distinct timelines and objectives. The investment fund itself would only become operational if a final and satisfactory agreement is reached between the parties. And following the expected signing of a memorandum of understanding, a 60-day preparatory period would begin. And during its time, fund administrators, Iranian officials and participating investors would work together to design governance structures, evaluate investment opportunities, and prioritize reconstruction projects. Only after this phase would the fund formally be activated. US officials have also indicated that access to the fund could be conditional on Iran meeting specific requirements, including limits on its nuclear program, elimination of enriched uranium stockpiles, and the acceptance of strict international monitoring and inspection regime. While presented as a potential pathway for economic revival and regional stability, the proposal remains highly tentative, with critical details still under negotiation and its implementation dependent on a final political settlement. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.